Winning Coach of the Year is like winning the MVP award. And when we bring up Tom Thibodeau, we must look at a coach who embodies greatness and commitment to the game. We see long nights and early days perfecting your craft as a coach, seeing the little things as well as the big, and dedicating yourself to your team's advancement, which is what he did. So in this video, I want to touch on some of the things that I feel Tibbs has done well for the Knicks, as well as some of the things I feel he should work on going into the offseason. Tibbs is a perfect motivator for the Knicks. From his belief in his players to his commitment to implement defensive strategies that work. New York went from being second to last in defensive efficiency to being fourth in a matter of an offseason. If that's not improvement, then I don't know what is. Which brings me to tell you to smash that wonderful like button if you appreciate my work. See, YouTubing is hard. And the more likes, the more my content gets out there. We trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so help your boy out, and it will be greatly appreciated. Anyway, before I started rambling, Tom's ability to be able to rally the troops is nothing short of perfection, and it benefited the Knicks so much that it propelled a mediocre team by Vegas view to the 4th seed in the competitive Eastern Conference. And although some of his decisions could be considered nothing but head scratching, you still have to give him credit for making the team more likable and more competitive. He gave you the feeling of the 90s Knicks, who boasted the likes of Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, even up to Latrell Sprewell in the early 2000s. That feeling of hard work pays off. Bring your hat and lunch pail to work feeling that gritty New York feeling. And acquiring Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose only fueled that feeling more. The resurgence of Julius Randle and RJ Barrett fueled that feeling even more. So before I step into the realm of critic, I had to give Tibbs his flowers for bringing out the best in his players, and also the worst. Tibbs can be loyal to a fault, and fault is the word of the day. See, when the signs of Elfrid Payton surfaced long before the season ended, most would question why he was still part of the rotation, especially with the play of Quickly and Derrick Rose. Not to mention Frank Ntilikina even had some good moments that we can remember. We watched Payton's play go from bad to horrible, game after game, to the point where fans were pulling out their hair in misery asking for a replacement. But Tibbs stayed put. And that's where the fault came in. See, by taking Payton out of the rotation early in the season, we'll have prepared Quickly and Burks for a life without Rose in that second unit. They will have had to find time to fully gel into that 1-2 punch along with Obi, while the starting unit will have adjusted to Rose. Julius was the main ball distributor all season long with Burks, so this could have helped with gelling in both units, solidifying whose role was whose and how the team benefited off of that play. Next season, Tibbs must have to commit to not being just a good coach but the stern one as well, holding players accountable for their play, especially if it continues over a long period like we saw with Payton. Tibbs also must work on implementing RJ Barrett into the offense. Too many times I saw Barrett lounging on the wing, waiting for the ball to come to him or running on the break only to be left out because Payton wanted to slow the offense and give the ball to Randle, which is not good for basketball. It got so bad to the point where I thought maybe there was internal beef with Barrett because neither Randall or Payton gave him the ball. So giving Barrett more plays will benefit the Knicks tremendously. And not only that, give Barrett a purpose on this team. Because when Barrett has the ball more, he excels, and he's the Knicks' future. So let him at it, and it just might turn out for the better. Because Barrett is a facilitator who can pass on a dime to the open player, so getting him in his bag more will definitely help the Knicks. There also has to be more plays when moving. The Knicks were one of the last teams to pace, and that was mainly because of what I said earlier about Payton stopping the offense to give the ball to Randall. And in most cases, the offense became stagnant with Randall isolated, which was another thing that helped the Hawks beat us because they already knew what Randall was doing, so their game plan was that more effective. Having players moves keeps the defense from relaxing. We saw this constantly with the Warriors, where you had Steph running to one end while Clay was hitting the other, to the point where defenses lost their locations, and next thing you know, up goes the 3, and now you're down 20. Not saying the Knicks possess these two players, but it's easier to hit an open 3 than a defended one, so which would you choose? Finding the right pieces should be of interest to the Knicks, and the main focus is shooters who can run through multiple screens and take good shots. Duncan Robinson, a premier three-point shooter who's set to be a free agent, is a target the Knicks should focus on this summer. Getting him to our offense will move the needle, but that's for my free agency video, so you'll have to subscribe for that. But leaving it here, I want to thank you all who've been supporting me on this sports journey, and I ask you to keep rocking with me because there's only up for here. So until next time, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you can stay in tune with all my latest videos and live streams. And until we meet again, lead by example.